The hills are alive with the sound of Yab's Pod.
And welcome back to another fantastic, wonderful, splendiferous episode of yet another VS podcast. My name is Dalton, and joining me as always is my bearded brethren,
Jeremy.
How are you this week, my good sir?
Pretty good. I'm actually on vacation. I'm down in Greenville, South Carolina at Southeast Game Exchange, which is a local video game convention. It's nice to have a break. You know, I decided that I wanted to come down here after everything going on in my personal life and, you know, getting burnt out working at the store every day, all day. Like, I need a break. So I just closed everything down, came down here for a couple of days. I did the convention today for about 3 hours, which I got the autographs I wanted. I looped the show floor 30 times probably, bought shit I was looking for. I think tomorrow, before I go home, there's a zoo literally like 8 minutes from my hotel. And I love going to the zoo. So I'm like, I think I might just go to the zoo tomorrow. Fuck it.
If you decide to do that, I'm going to bug you to send me some pictures of some animals, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to take tons of pictures at the zoo. So it's funny. I only collect original Game Boy complete in box stuff now. I sold off all the rest of my stuff and just like, I'm going to focus on that. And I think I've only got like 39 games or something. And of course the market has gone insane just like everything else. So I went through all my stuff. I was looking because I've got some that are missing manuals, some that are missing, you know, the game. I had two boxes that didn't have the game. It was losing my voice. I've been talking too much today. Killer Instinct and Heineko Alien, which is a really weird, I think, like puzzle game. But I did find both of those loose for a decent price, so that completes two games out of my thing. Oh, I also found a person selling VHSs and found an original VHS of Godzilla vs. King Kong, so I grabbed that for my collection too.
Nice. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, dude. There were more than one vendor selling laser discs. And I met up with a friend of mine, Christina, who also listens to the show. So hey again, Christina. Her and her husband and a mutual friend of ours and his new wife came down. So we all hung out. She found a couple of laser discs. What did she get? E.T. and maybe Jurassic Park. I know she got like two like pretty good movies. And like the E.T. I think was $3 for the laser disc. I was like, man, who's still selling laser discs that cheap? Because that's still up. Still a fairly niche but popular collector's market.
Yeah. Man, I've never been to a con. I'd love to go. But I would want a decent amount of money because I would be looking for big box PC games, and I'm sure those have not gotten cheaper.
I wasn't looking for them, but I didn't see a lot. Like there was a ton of Pokemon stuff, of course, because that's one of the most popular things right now. You know, tons of cartridge games and stuff. A lot of the stuff was, you know, anybody who's been to conventions, there's a such thing as a con tax, where basically everything's overpriced because they're trying to get you with that, oh man, look, I've been looking for this, and you just pay for it without thinking about it. So I usually look at stuff at the booth that I know the market value of, and if it's crazy, I just walk away. Like there was one booth I looked at that they had a copy of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut on N64. Ooh. And it's like depending on condition, like a $900 to $1,200 cartridge game, and they had like $1,500 on it. And I was like, yeah, so they're gonna be a little overpriced. And I just I gauge by that what I want to buy. And so like I bought the 2 games, I bought the VHS, I bought my kid a couple of things to take home with him. Let's see, I bought a t-shirt from the show because a buddy of mine's one of the guys that puts the show on, so that's why I come down to this one. It's about a 4-hour drive, which I wanted to also give you a little shit because the Steam machine let me down this week. because I had I left Friday morning and I was stopping halfway to meet my friend Christina for lunch. Thanks again for lunch because she insisted on paying for it. So it was about 2.5 hours, about 2:45 to get there. So I'm like, oh, I got a new episode of Steam Machine. I'll listen to it on the way. And then it ended up being a shorter episode. So I'm like, oh, man, I got like an hour left. I got to find something to listen to.
Yeah, sorry. There was only so much we could talk about Planet Coaster.
That's true. It was a good quality episode, though.
Yeah, I feel like everybody was in a good mood. It was like our episode last night. All the podcasts I recorded last week, everybody was in a fucking great mood. It was great.
I'll say for TSMP Productions, that was a pretty good podcast week. Everybody was pretty fired up. Absolutely.
Dude, so talking about hiking up prices and things like that, I want to bring up something that I went through. It's a little different than price hiking, but I want your opinion on it since you're kind of in that business. So I had this app, and when I was making some money at the restaurant and stuff, I was buying PC games. And, our buddy Santos sent me some PC games as well, which I have up here with my other ones. But so I have Morrowind in the box, Oblivion in the box, and I wanted to get Skyrim, right? Yeah. I can't afford Daggerfall and Arena as much as I would love to get those. Those are expensive. But so I paid this guy $20 to send me the Skyrim box disc thing.
Oh yeah.
And after I think they have 3 days to send it before they get an alert that they need to send it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I gave him a week and I hadn't gotten any notification that he had sent it. So I messaged him and he's like, "Oh, sorry, man. I've been going through some stuff. I'll send it out to you tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, man, no worries." So I wait another 3 or 4 days, nothing. So I messaged him again and he writes me back, "LOL. No, I never sent that piece of shit out, man."
Yeah, that's.
And I was like, "What the fuck? Why?" And he just proceeded to talk shit to me. And I'm like, "All right." So I reported him and then got my money back. But still, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that was a little fucked up. I can't stand when people do stuff like that.
But like, why? I'm trying to give you money for something that you're trying to get rid of. I don't understand. Like, it just blew my mind. I haven't tried to buy anything since. I just been like,
that's a little ridiculous. Like you said, what's the point if you're selling the item? Like, why not take the money and get rid of the item, especially if you don't like the item?
Yeah, I was just like, man, whatever. So it was around that time that I lost my job at the restaurant anyway. So it put a halt on my PC collecting. But
I had something similar happen. It may have been the same issue. So I was on eBay. This was, well over 10 years ago. Probably over 15 years ago now. I was looking for a Father's Day present. I found somebody had a Carolina Hurricanes jersey autographed by a bunch of players, and they had it on auction on eBay. It was one of those weird auctions that ended at 1:15 in the afternoon on a Tuesday or something. And so nobody bid on it. So I ended up getting it dirt cheap. And the person literally messages me and is like, "Oh, I had the jersey on the table and my daughter spilt curry on it. So I'm just going to have to refund you." I was like, "That's okay. Send it anyways. Maybe I can touch clean it or something, And then she finally just admits that she didn't want to sell it for that price. And I was like, "Dude, don't put your shit up for auction then if you don't want to sell it if it sells low." That's bullshit.
That's like those people who put things up for auction and have their friends bid on it. And if their friends win, then just nothing happens.
Yep.
Lame.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're having a good time getting away,
Oh, yeah. How about you? You had a pretty good week?
Oh, it hasn't been bad. I fucked my knee up because I'm an idiot. I was doing so my grandpa had a tree cut down in his yard, and I went over there to cut it up and bring it back here for firewood. And I had the a pole saw.
Oh yeah.
I almost called it a limb lopper, which is also another name for it, But and I was using that because my chainsaw was just giving me issues. I couldn't get my chainsaw to work, which I fixed that luckily. But so I'm using the pole saw. I'm cutting all these limbs and stuff, and I go to step over this branch, and it catches the top of my shoe. So my foot, when I went to lift it up, my foot just bent backwards.
Yep.
So I twisted my ankle on my left leg, twisted my knee, and then fell and pile drove that same knee into a log. Just boom. And I hopped up real quick. And I don't know if you could see my arm.
Oh, yeah.
there's a big old slash through it. That a branch got me on the way down, but I was more so like I stood up and I no-sold it, right? Because I wanted to get some work done. I didn't want my grandpa to tell me to stop. Yeah. But bro, I'm like walking around cutting these limbs and stuff, and my leg, I can feel my heartbeat in my knee. Just ooh. I'm like, oh God, this hurts so fucking bad. But I know, so I felt like the Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell when he dropped down off the cage and landed on a broken ankle that was broken before he dropped down. He just landed on it, just shook it off. Ugh. Gives me the shivers.
I did that at the plant one time. I forget what exactly happened, but I literally, like you said, I kind of fell onto my knee and it landed on like a metal, a solid metal shaft of something. And like I remember, had to wear jeans working at the plant, so I went to the bathroom, pulled my pants down, and looked, and like I hit it so hard that I actually impact broke the skin, which is that's hard to do on a flat metal surface that wasn't sharp. It hit so hard that it actually busted through the skin. And so I took a picture of it because I had a female supervisor at the time. I wasn't going to go in the office and be like, look at this and pull my pants down. So I took a picture of it. I was like, I'm just letting you know just in case it becomes something. I think I'll be okay. I showed it to her. She was like, holy shit. Like, that looks really bad. I was like, yeah, it hurts. Like, my knee is swelling up a little bit, but I think I'll be okay. Because it hit on the side. So I was like, I think I'll be fine. I think it's just like a skin and muscle thing. And it ended up going away after a while, but man, it was fucking gnarly when it happened.
It fucking hurts, man. Yeah. I can relate that to the story I told where Mike shot me in the ass with the wet paper towel stuffed shotgun shell. Yeah. Impact abrasion, not fun.
No.
Or I guess it would be an impact contusion. I don't know. I'm not great on
laceration.
Yeah, there we go.
Lacerations are cuts. Contusions are bruises. Intrusions, what happens to your butthole in prison.
Oh my God. Other than that, man, I've been playing some Final Fantasy VII,
nice.
Which I recorded a Sunday special for the JRPG report this morning with James, and I was asking him, I said, what point in Final Fantasy VII is it going to be safe for me to load up Remake so I can see what the fuss is about? Yeah. I said, I might not beat it, but I'm going to play it. And James goes, well, where you're at in the story, he goes, when you load back into the game, you're going to beat Sephiroth, and then you're out of Midgar, and then you're good. And I'm like, oh, okay, so not that far, so okay.
Yeah, that's where 7 Remake ends, is when, Sephiroth, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played it, Sephiroth takes Aerith and just, fucks off planet or whatever. I never played the original. I've never played any Final Fantasy VII other than the remake. I only played the remake because it came out right around the pandemic, and I found a copy. I was like, let's see what all the fuss is about, and then pissed off all my Final Fantasy friends because I was like, this is an average, action RPG that a lot of people love because of the nostalgia that they have from playing the original. If the new one came out with different characters and a different name, but the same plot, everything happens exactly the same, I don't think it would have been as well received as it was being a Final Fantasy VII remake. But I understand, when it came out on PS1, it was something special because at the time you didn't have shit like that. Whereas now, action games are a dime a dozen. There's a lot of really good action games that don't even get any love because there's just not enough time to play them all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree that nostalgia probably has a lot to do with the reaction for remake.
Yeah.
But I just want to see what all the hype's about because I'm honestly really enjoying the original so far. It's fun, No,
it was a beautiful game. The remake is absolutely stunning looking, but I don't have that Final Fantasy nostalgia, so it wasn't a mind-bending thing for me to see.
Yeah, you didn't have a Dan Curtis moment.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I've been playing House Flipper.
Oh, yeah.
That game's fantastic.
That game is absolutely fantastic.
I'm to the point now, I think I have 2 or 3 of the requests left, and then I'm just going to be on to selling my own houses and stuff.
Nice.
So I did sell some houses, and I upgraded to my office is now the cyberpunk looking office.
Sweet.
And I'm like, yeah, this is what's up. And I have way more fun than I should in that game. I'll play that game for 5 hours straight. Nice. Just painting and cleaning. It's fucking stupid, but it's great.
Oh yeah, dude,
I wish it was multiplayer.
They're putting Power Washing Simulator on Game Pass. We're gonna have to play that together because that is co-op, and that game is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, dude, I'm so down. I'll install that later on. What's this? Man, that was a loud vibrate for Facebook notification. Sorry, it startled me. I guess my phone was sitting on my grinder or something because it's metal, and it was just like, wah, wah. I'm like, oh shit. All right, well then let's get into some of our topics, my good sir. First and foremost, Clerks 3 trailer dropped. I know you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
It looks fucking fantastic. I can't wait to actually see it.
Yeah, dude. 100%. It almost, it's very, me and you discussed this off air. It's very much like a Kevin Smith telling everybody what went on with him after his heart attack. And like that whole, it's almost like I think you called it a biopic of that era of Kevin Smith.
Yep. I feel like it's a biopic sort of, it's not really a biopic, but it's kind of a mashup of like when he had his heart attack and he changed his life around, but also like him actually making the original Clerks and stuff. Like, man, it looks so good. And then I love like all the subtle nods to Clerks and Clerks 2 and, you know, just the nerd references and stuff. Like the one scene I loved was when they were talking about doing the movie and Randall goes, you should have him say that part that you used to always say about the Death Star contract workers. He was like, and get sued by Disney? Nah.
There was the other joke, and I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but it was like, I don't want to be one of those guys that brings back the same characters over and over, just blah, 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 you know, and then it cuts to Jay and Silent Bob, and Silent Bob just points to the camera and smiles.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I love his little meta jokes. Like, they're fucking awesome.
When they're like, one of the customers was like, you should put Jay and Silent Bob as characters in the movie. Yeah. And Randall's like, Jay and Silent Bob are kind of like C-3PO and R2-D2. They were there. They're always there. They're in every movie. They haven't really been cool since the first one, but everybody loves them anyway, so we just stick them in somewhere.
Yeah. It's tremendous, dude.
Oh,
then I wonder if he's going to do it like he did Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, where he like toured it, because I got to go see that, and that was really cool at the Florida Theater, where like he came out, introduced the movie, and then after the movie was over, he did a Q&A.
Yeah.
And it was surreal. It was like that moment when I saw Tenacious D live, when I was like, that's Jack Black.
Yep.
Jack Black is right there. I had that same moment where I was like, dude, that's Kevin Smith. He's right there.
Nice.
Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just had these moments where like, if I were to see like a celebrity in public, I'm very much that person that would be like, oh, look, but I wouldn't point. Yeah. I wouldn't like go over and bother them. If they looked my way, I might give them like a salute or a nod or something.
Yep.
But just being in the presence of like Kevin Smith or Jack Black or something, I'm like, fuck, I've only ever seen you through a screen. Oh, yeah. And here you are. It's just wild.
That's like being at this show. There's a bunch of YouTubers and stuff at this show, like Pat the NES Punk, Pat Contry's here, Metal Jesus is here, John Riggs, Boogie2988, the Aaron from the Pixel Game Squad is here. Billy and Jay from Game Chasers is here. And like, when I got to the hotel room Friday, come in the lobby to check in, I see like Metal Jesus and John Riggs sitting in the lobby just hanging out. And like I saw Pat Contry hanging out with a couple of guys. And like you said, I'm not the type of person that's just going to walk over and inject myself into this situation, because while I feel like I know these people, they don't know me. So like, yeah. I'm just that weird guy who came up and just acted like I was friends with them or something. I don't know. So I'm just like, I'll say, hey, that's cool, and just keep on walking.
Now I gotta ask. I know you're a tall guy like me.
Yeah.
Is John Riggs as big as he looks? Because he looks like he's a tall motherfucker.
I haven't been super up close to him, but I don't think he's that tall.
No, like then again, he was standing next to Kelsey, and Kelsey's super short in the video.
Kelsey's
but
way short.
But John looks like he's about 6'4", 6'5". Like,
nah, because I'm 6'4". I want to say it looked like he was shorter than me. He's shorter than Jason, Metal Jesus. So I think Jason's around my height. But yeah, like I saw Aaron from Pixel Game Squad a couple times just out on the show floor looking at stuff. And it's funny because he would always make eye contact with me, and it was almost like he was looking like, do I know this guy? But like I just keep walking past him, I wouldn't acknowledge him. And it could just be like he's, always on to meet fans and stuff, because I'm sure he gets people walking up to him all the time, be like, oh, I love your show, bro. I'm not that type of guy. Like, I see you doing your thing, I'm just going to keep walking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I met Sarah Natachini, who is the current voice of Ash Ketchum in Pokemon, and I met Martha Harms, who was she was Officer Jenny in the newer Pokemon stuff. She was also Maya in Borderlands. She was Irina in Assassination Classroom. She's been in just a ton of stuff. And, that was pretty cool. There was a wrestler here. I didn't go up to his table because I didn't know who he was. I'll have to look his name up real quick. You may know him. He was WWE Tag Team Champion at some point in time, I think.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find his name.
There have been a lot of those.
Yes, there have been very, very many of those. Doc Gallows.
Oh, yeah. I know him.
Yeah, he's here.
I think he's in AEW now, or maybe he went back to New Japan. One of the two. Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows.
Well, he's in South Carolina right now, so.
Nice. He was one of the guys in the Bullet Club.
Nice.
Back when it was AJ Styles, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson. Yeah, it's good. He's a good wrestler. He's a big dude.
Nice. Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool though. We'll definitely have to do a convention together at some point, especially if you've never been to one. Like,
yeah, I would love to go.
I have to find one in Florida we can go to. Like, there's GalaxyCon is coming up in Raleigh, and while it's a really cool show, I'm probably not going to go to it this year just because it's the type of show that they have huge celebrities there, but everybody charges like $50 or more for an autograph. So I'm talking about you want to go there, you want to take like $1,000 with you to really do anything you want to do. And it's kind of one of those situations where like there's going to be long lines for everybody. Like it's a salute to capitalism, I guess I would say.
I'm trying to think of somebody that I would be willing to pay $50 to meet and get an autograph from, and that is a very, very small list of people.
Yeah, and like I'm talking about, like Kevin Nash is going to be there. He's charging $80 for an autograph. Like, that's a lot to me for you to literally write your name on something. Just seems like so much money to me.
That does seem like a lot of money especially for an autograph, which sucks because I would love to like meet and just be able to be like, "Yo, Kevin, you're the man. I can't wait for your podcast to start."
Yep.
Which by the time this comes out, their podcast would have come out already. I don't need to promote that because they are going to get enough listeners as it is.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, like Kevin Nash is going to be there. Sting is going to be there. Dude, like GalaxyCon has the craziest list of people. It's very much a corporate con. Like, it's a big conglomerate that does a ton of bunch of shows all up and down the East Coast. Let's see.
You should look up, not necessarily right now, but you should look up StarCast 5, something that Conrad Thompson's putting on, because that's going to be in North Carolina, I believe, the Jim Crockett territory. And it's going to be Ric Flair's last match. I
saw that, yeah.
I bet it's going to be expensive.
Kevin Smith will be there, but it's funny because he's only doing a panel. He's not doesn't have a table to sign something. He's literally doing a panel and leaving. But
at GalaxyCon?
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito's there, Katie Sackhoff, William Shatner, Brett Spiner, Tom Welling. Let's see. Trying to look at like big names. Jason Mewes is there all weekend. Patrick Warburton's there. Jeff Anderson, Brian O'Haller. Like all the Clerks people are there.
I would like to meet Patrick Warburton so I could get his opinion on my putty impression.
Nice.
Like I feel like he'd be like, "Oh, it's not bad. Thank you."
Richard Dreyfuss is there, which I would love to get some Jaws shit signed by him. Let's see. Like, there's just so many people there. Anybody else? Sean Gunn is going to be there. the dude Kevin Clash, who is literally the dude who does Elmo. Like,
Elmo.
Tons of voice actors are going to be there. Like, it's a big, to do. But like I said, they show you on the website how much people charge for their autographs at the show. And like Patrick Warburton is $50 for an autograph.
Now, is it like an autograph and a picture? Like if you want to get a picture with him too?
No, you have to pay extra for a picture. Let's see. Patrick Warburton, $50 for an autograph, $70 for a photo op. So if you want an autograph and a photo op, you're going to pay $120 for it. So let's see. I'm trying to find like the list of wrestlers and stuff. The guy Steve Downs, the guy who voiced Master Chief in the games, is going to be there. Dana Snyder's there. So let's see, Sting. Like, I would love to meet Sting there. $60 for an autograph, $70 for a photo. Let's see.
Now, is that like it's $60 just for the autograph, but if you want the photo, you have to pay $70, or is it like $70 on top of the $60?
I think it's $70 on top of the $60. So yeah.
Ouch.
Adam Page is there. I know you know him. $40 for an autograph, $40 for a table selfie, $60 if you want an autograph and a table selfie.
No offense to Hangman Page.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have paid that money when he was the AEW champion, let alone now.
Yeah.
No offense to him.
Jake the Snake is there. $40 for an autograph 8x10, $60 for autographs on your belts or figures, $40 for a table selfie. Like,
I understand why they charge more for signing belts and things like that.
Well,
because
a lot
those people
of them do it. Yeah, because the people get the stuff signed to sell. Like Martha Harms is at this show. She's the one who did Maya in Borderlands, and she had a bunch of Maya Borderlands pops on her table. Literally, it said autograph only $100, personalized autograph $90. So you got the pop figure signed. If you wanted it signed without your name written on it, it was an extra $10. Because, like you said, most people are going to do that just so they can go throw it on eBay and sell it. And I get that, but like I usually get most of my stuff signed just to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kevin Nash is $40 for an autograph, 8x10, $60 for belts and figures, $40 for a table selfie. Like I just can't see it. It's so much money.
That is a lot of money.
Lady Frost. Do you know this wrestler?
I've heard the name, but I don't know her.
She was Impact, AEW, and NWA. Oh, they don't even have her prices up. Like, it's one of those shows where, like I said, if you don't take $1,000 with you, you're going to end up making choices on stuff.
Yeah.
So I just can't be bothered. Like, if I had the money, I'd probably go, but I just can't be bothered to go.
Yeah, well, I feel you, man. I understand that for sure. Like, if I had that kind of money, I don't even know if I'd want to spend it on that or if I just want to upgrade my computer. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's one thing is like the ones here. I had an Ash Ketchum figure. Veronica Taylor is who voiced him originally. So I met her at a show and it was like $25 for an autograph. So I found this figure and bought it and I just had her sign it. So I was like, the new Ash is here. I brought it with me. I was like, I'll pay her to sign it, which she charged $40 to sign it. I was like 40 just, it seems like a lot, but I was like, I'm here. I've got the figure. I'm just going to get it done. So then like Martha Harms was $30 for a 8x10 with a signature, or it was like 2 for $50. So I was like, I'll just do the 2 for $50. So I got 2 pictures signed by her. Yeah, like there are other people here, like the guy who invented the Mortal Kombat logo is here, but I was like, I think he was like $40 for an autograph. I was like, that's cool, but not $40 cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was that was a theme of the day. We were walking around looking at stuff and I was talking with Christina and they had one table had this really cool, feudal Japan style Bowser statue. It was like anime style, sort of just really cool looking, but it was $270. And I was like, that's cool, but it's not $270 cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man, there's up at the local Ace Hardware. I know this is random as shit, but my local Ace Hardware sells some random things, right?
Yeah.
They have a statue the size of like bigger than me of a Yeti, and then they have a statue of a velociraptor that is bigger than the Yeti. Nice. And they're just for sale for like, $800, $900. And I looked at my mom the other day and I said, if I had money to just blow on whatever, both of those would be in our side yard in the woods, just chilling.
Nice.
But it's one of those things that, like, I feel like I would want to have fuck you money before I go drop $900 on a statue.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
All right. So next up you have, and let's go ahead and say, if you do not want Stranger Things spoilers, skip ahead a little bit because Jeremy would like to talk about the finale. I don't care about spoilers, so let's
I'm going to try to be spoiler free. Well, light spoilers. But yeah, definitely if you haven't seen it, skip forward like 5-10 minutes. Probably not that long, but I don't know. So yeah, the finale came out. I didn't watch it before our last recording. I think I watched it the next day. And dude, that show is fucking really good. Like, I know you haven't watched it. Like, it's well worth the watch if you can get into it.
Nate tells me that he thinks that is right up my alley, and I am doing myself a disservice for not watching it.
I think you would like it. It's very, very 80s.
I love the 80s.
Music is very big in it. It's all like D&D nerd stuff.
I love D&D nerd stuff.
Like, all the characters in it are, well, all the like monsters and stuff are from original like D&D characters. Like, they had the Demigorgons from the first season that had been throughout. That was actually a monster in the original D&D. Yep. The new like main bad guy Vecna is from D&D. It's funny, there's actually a Vecna pop figure from actual Dungeons and Dragons lore before this season came out. So like, there's actually a Vecna pop figure you can buy already.
Oh god, and I bet that price went up.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, the finale was really good. I know we talked about the that one scene with Eddie on the top of the trailer just jamming out to Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
It was a super cool scene to me. The only thing that kind of was weird to me was he was on top of the trailer playing guitar, but the overlaid track was the actual song. So there was like drums, there was vocals, everything. I was like, why didn't you just do the guitar part? That seems like it would have been more natural to the scene. But I get, like, the song itself is impactful. The guitar part is not as impactful by itself.
Yeah, it's like I heard that they did re-record the song for the show, like, because they got the bass player from Metallica's son, Trujillo. I don't remember his son's name. Apologies, but he played the guitar solo for it.
Is it Lucas?
That's a possibility. I don't know. But anyway, he played the guitar solo, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, the guy who plays Eddie is like said, he's been playing guitar his whole life, so he was pretty close with the actual motions of it. I actually sent you that clip where they showed like what it actually sounded like playing just the guitar, and like it sounded so much worse. But that's because you're recording it. Like, you know how it is when you're at a concert. Like, if you're up close to the stage, you're hearing all that weird noise over top. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it's just kind of is what it is. But yeah, the finale was really good. I thought this was the last season. Apparently it's not. Apparently there's one more season, which hopefully comes out not on a Bethesda schedule, but so, because, this season there was like 2 years in between. But yeah, I think this last season is going to wrap up really cool. Like I said, you should definitely watch it. I think you would really like it.
I might wait until they're finished, like, because I read season 5 is the last season or whatever, and once it's done, then I could just binge through the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've heard, like, Nate and then other friends of mine, when the first half of season 4 came out, they were like, oh my god, I need the second half. And if I can avoid that, that'd be great. It's like when I watched The Sopranos, it was years later, so I watched the entirety of it,
Yep.
Which we'll bring... go ahead.
So that brings up a question for me. I'm curious if you feel the same. Is it easier to you to binge watch 30-minute shows than it is hour-long shows? Like, to me, 30-minute shows seem like you can just run through them really quick. Whereas when the shows are, the 48 minutes or whatever of an hour-long show, it just seems like each episode takes for fucking ever to get through.
I think it depends on the show.
That's
because,
possible.
For example, some of the Witcher episodes, would push an hour and 20 minutes, and it never felt like they were too long. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm sure that there are other shows that would drag if you extended them. If they were, if Family Guy was an hour long, that would probably drag a little because that's very quick, precise, made for that amount of time,
Yeah. That's like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead to me, like some of those episodes, just like, God damn, is this episode over yet? Just because that show, they did that show a disservice by having it on AMC, I hate to say. That show would have been so much better on a premium channel like HBO or Stars or somebody if they had not had to be censored and kept the seasons to like 10 episodes a piece like the HBO, the way they do shows. I think that show would have been way more impactful.
I think it also would have done well on FX. And I say that because look at American Horror Story and how violent that show is. And I've heard that show say fuck. Now, they might bleep it on TV, but when you watch it on Hulu and Netflix, dude, there are fucks all over that show.
Yep. Well, like the Walking Dead comic book, there was nudity, there was sex scenes, there's cursing, there's all kinds of crazy shit. And they really had to tone it down for cable TV. Which I still say, like, stop fucking censoring shit. Like, let us have nudity and cursing and stuff on television. Like, that's why I like that the streaming services are not censoring like that. They're kind of just going premium cable and, it'll just letting you sort of, hang dick, hang tits out, do what you want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice because that way you have the artistic freedom to put what you want into your show and not have to worry about, this isn't going to pass, the SCC or whatever it is, all of this. It's like, man, just let them do what they want. If they're not putting anything in there that's illegal or any, who gives a fuck if there's some titties or that there's a fucking pair of balls? Hell, who cares if it's Anne Heche's butthole? Yeah. Like anything. Like, it doesn't matter.
Or Anne Hathaway's butthole.
Or Anne Hathaway's butthole.
My thing with it is, it's kind of like Netflix with the fucking, there's some movie on there called like Cooties or something, or Cuties. And it's literally like sexual exploitation of minors. And like, I don't know how the fuck they're keeping this on there. Like, dude, if you haven't heard the story about that, like, look into that. It's fucking ridiculous.
I remember when it came out. That movie is like a whole commentary on the way that children are portrayed in the media sometimes. And but it's a very, very, I wouldn't watch it because apparently it's a very uncomfortable watch.
I don't even want to like look it up on my Netflix. I don't want to be associated with it whatsoever.
Yeah, you can put on a list.
They said it's basically as close as you can get to child pornography without actually watching child pornography. And it's like, I just have no interest in seeing that at all.
No.
It's like little girls dancing around with like prolonged close-ups of their crotches and butts and stuff. And it's like, I do not need to see that at all. Like, I don't want children to be seen in that light. I think it's bullshit and it needs to stop.
It's like, what was that movie? The Serbian film or whatever?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There's a scene, I don't even want to get into it, but there's a scene in that movie that is notorious and it's fucking awful. And I haven't watched that movie because of that. I mean, and I've watched Cannibal Holocaust, I've watched August Underground, all these movies that are like considered disturbing movies. I won't do Serbian film. Yeah. I don't want to go to that. I don't want to be that level yet. Yeah. Like, no, I don't want to see that shit. Even if it's fake. You know what I mean? It's like, no, no, thank you. It's like, I've never watched, not Last House on the Left. What is that movie? Is it Last House on the Left? Where the girl gets raped out in the middle of the woods and then it becomes a rape and revenge movie?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's maybe Last House on the Left. I haven't watched that because like I don't like rape scenes, dude. That's just not my thing.
There was a movie that came out. I remember it getting a lot of shit. It had Dakota Fanning in it. I think it was called Hound Dog. And basically there was a scene in it where her dad rapes her. And like, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently like there was a, of course people were up in arms about a child rape scene in the movie, but apparently like she came out and was like, they were really cool about it. Like, everybody talked me through it. It wasn't, they made it as little trauma for me as possible. Like, you know, she was saying how great the cast and crew and director and everybody were to make sure it was as comfortable as possible for her. And it's like, but yeah, just seeing stuff like that, it's tough.
Yeah. And I know that's why those scenes are included. You know, it's because they're there to punch a message across, but still, Jesus Christ.
Like Deliverance. Watching homeboy get fucking raped up the ass. He's like, oh, squeal like a pig, boy.
Squeal like a piggy, boy.
Yeah, it's something else.
Yeah. So let's see. The next topic we got, just to get off of that subject.
Yeah.
So I'm on Facebook and I see that there's a new like Fairly Odd Parents show that came out, right?
Yeah.
But it's like live action, but the Fairly Odd Parents themselves are still cartoon.
Yeah.
And there were people in the comments just shitting all over this show.
Yeah. And I'm imagining they were grown men who this show is not targeted to at all, bitching about it.
It was all grown men and women, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, I commented, I said, you guys realize that you are adults bitching about a show for children.
Yep.
Like, this shit's not made for us anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, did I have my opinions when they changed the animation on Scooby-Doo? Yeah. Did I make us think about it? No, because I'm not the demographic anymore.
Yep.
You know, it's just not, it's not what I do anymore. And people are so, what's the word? They're just such assholes, I guess.
Entitled.
Yeah, there you go.
They're
that they
so
think
entitled.
They have to, that a kid's show needs to be approved of by, now, I don't mean approved of like, you know, parents watching something to make sure it's okay for their kids. But like, just because the show you used to watch 20 years ago like changes doesn't mean you need to be like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. It's not for you anymore.
Yep. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If enough people don't watch it, they won't make it anymore. Like, that's the thing is, and I was listening to Pat Contry's podcast, and they kind of touched on this too, with another topic we were going to talk about, and saying like, you know, the Sonic movie, when they let the fans make an uproar and get that movie changed, even though it was changed for the better, it created this dynamic where people feel like, oh, if I bitch loud enough, I can make things that I want happen. And it's like, guess what? That's not going to happen. Like, that was a once in a lifetime thing that happened. You probably will never see that happen again.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Like Ian was saying on that podcast, he was like, the thing about the Sonic movie is the people doing the art for it, they probably knew it was shit. So they probably had already done both versions. And they were like, all right, here's the one you wanted. They put it out and people bitched. And the art people were like, see, there you go. Now we got this other version people are going to like better. Let's try that. So they tried that and people were like, oh, hooray, it's great. And they were like, see, we told you. Like, that's not going to have, like, what he was talking about was Return to Monkey Island. We talked about the art, people not really liking it. That is a person making the game they want to make. You're not going to bully this person into changing their vision for a game because you don't like it. If you don't like it, don't fucking play it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And like, if you don't like the new Fairly Odd Parents, or you don't like the new Rugrats cartoon, or you don't like that, you know, Clerks 2 was color while Clerks was black and white, then don't fucking watch it. Like, not everything is made for you. That's such a problem in today's social media society where everything, you are able to cater things to what you like, and it's giving people this false perception that the world is supposed to be tailored to them. That's not how this works.
Yeah, it's not how life works at all.
No.
Yeah, and yeah, speaking of the Monkey Island thing, like, that guy came out and said that he's just not going to talk about the game online anymore because he was getting like personal attacks and stuff over his art choice.
Yep. Like, dude, like, if you see a trailer for a video game and you don't like the art style and you're like, you message the guy who makes it, it's like, I'm going to kill your whole family because your art style sucks. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You should be thrown in jail for stupid shit like that. Like, there's no fucking excuse for it.
I absolutely agree. It's fucking dumb, dude. And then I remember, like, what was the other one? I think it was when Rugrats came out.
Yeah.
With the 3D animated one.
Yep.
My impression was, oh, they updated it, cool, because I loved Rugrats as a kid. I'd love to see that do well. And there were people like, oh, how dare they change it? Yep. And they made Phil and Lil's mom a lesbian. And I'm like, did y'all not watch the original show at all?
Exactly.
Like, that lady was a lesbian just without admitting it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was just like, at that time, you couldn't be a lesbian mom. Now you can. So she's living her truth. And you guys are being bigots because you're like, oh, it's not what I remember from my childhood. Who fucking cares? Like, dude, I loved Rugrats. It was one of my favorite things in the world. Yep. And yeah, when the new one, I haven't watched it yet, but I probably will. Like, who gives a shit? It is what it is.
Absolutely, dude. Let's see. Oh, okay. The God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I told you about the trailer that came out. That game looks fucking amazing. I've been waiting since I finished the God of War on PS4. I've been waiting for this game. It's supposedly coming out in November. November release dates make me nervous because it's probably going to get pushed to the new year. But a project this big, I'm pretty sure they want that holiday rush. So I feel like maybe this is like, because they said they were avoiding crunch. They were trying not to like overwork the dev teams and stuff, which I appreciate. So if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. But if it comes out in November, that'd be pretty awesome too. I'm going to buy it and play it regardless of when it comes out. Like I was telling you before the show, I was not a huge God of War fan originally, but I love Norse mythology. So when I found out they were doing the new one and it was going to be Norse mythology, I was like, fuck yeah, I want to try this out. And I was hooked. Like, that game was amazing. So I can't wait for this one to come out. And I didn't show you the trailer. They did an unboxing for the collector's edition and the Jotnar edition, which I'm going to try to get the Jotnar edition, but I don't know how expensive it's going to be. That might be like what makes me not get it.
You want that Mjolnir, don't you?
Yes, that Mjolnir is fucking cool. I want the 7-inch vinyl of the soundtrack is really cool. Like, that whole collection is just cool as shit. The only thing I hate, and I get why they do it, but it still pisses me off, is both the collectors and the Jotnar edition do not come with physical copies of the game. They come with download codes, which kind of sucks. Like, that's most weird. Collector's edition shit now has download codes instead of actual copies of the game.
Shouldn't it come with a fucking steelbook? Like,
it comes with a steelbook, but not an actual copy of the game.
Oh, they're fucking dumb.
Yeah, like, it's kind of dumb to have a steelbook and no actual disc to put in it, but
yeah.
Yep. Like, you open the steelbook and I think it's just going to have the cards inside for all the digital download stuff.
Boo.
Agreed.
I guess it'll look good on the shelf, but still.
I just want that Mjolnir. That's all I really care about. And for those that don't know, it's not the MCU Mjolnir. It's the one from the game, so it's more accurate to Norse mythology. And like, Thor in the game is a big hulking fat dude, which is cool as shit because that's who Thor is in Norse mythology. He's not a big, like, roided up god. Superhero. He's like, he's this big, like, barrel chested, beer gutted fucking
Viking.
He's Adonis. Yeah, he's not an Adonis. He's a fucking Viking, and like, he just loves to fight and fuck.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, I need to get around to God of War. I loved the very first one back in the day. Because I love Greek mythology.
Well, let me ask you this.
Play any of those ones.
Little spoiler for Steam Machine. Do you have a pick coming up soon?
I have a pick. So after Final Fantasy VII will be Nate, and then it'll be me.
I would say you should pick God of War. It's not a super long game. Like, if you just golden path it, and maybe I'll play it and come jump on the God of War episode and give my opinion of it.
Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun. A little crossover action. Crossing streams.
That game is amazing. I've heard that the PC version with like max settings is just mind-blowingly beautiful.
Yeah, I won't be able to play it, 4K ultra max settings, but I can do it in 2K, which is still damn good looking.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that would be my suggestion for your suggestion. I don't know how Nate really feel about that, but I'm gonna collude a little bit.
I think is it on Game Pass?
No, it's PS4 or.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, so I'd have to convince Nate to buy it. I don't know. We'll see.
But you can buy, especially if they have PS4s, like you can get the greatest hits version for like $20 or less now. So
I don't think either of them have PS4s though.
I wonder what it costs on PC. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it's $39.99.
Well, that's not terrible. Trust me, like it's a fucking like 100% of the game on PS4. It's just like you don't want to put it down. It's so fucking good.
Wow. So you beat that one fight, the
Yes.
Sigrun or whatever. Oh
the
my
fucking
God.
Queen of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
That pissed me off so much. I put a fucking bounty out on Facebook. I was like, yo, if anybody will come to my house and beat this fucking bitch for me, I'll give you like $40. And because I played it for like an hour and a half one night and she kept killing me. My buddy Cody was like, go to bed, get up in the morning and try again. So that's what I did. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to bed. I got up the next morning. I tried it like the third fight. She had like a sliver of health and I had a sliver of health, but I'd filled up like my rage meter. So I was just like fucking mashing buttons like this, like, oh my fucking God. And I got my rage attack in and beat her. And I was like, oh my fucking God, that was the hardest shit I've ever done in a video game. Like, it was so fucking, but like, and I get people say like, well, you don't like Dark Souls games. That's what Dark Souls games is. Like, I didn't like that. I was relieved when I beat her ass, but I didn't want to go fight 10 more just like her. Like, fuck that shit. Like, that shit was so goddamn hard. I'm not the type of person that likes to do the same thing over and over and over and over again in a video game until I get through it. Like, I want to just get through it. Yeah, dude, when I walked up on her, like, holy fucking shit, that was so goddamn hard to do. But I beat her.
I've seen multiple PlayStation Access videos on YouTube where they bring up hard boss fights, and she always seems to come up.
Oh yeah, so and I played on. I didn't play on story. I played on easy. I think it's like you have story, easy, moderate, and difficult or whatever. It's like story is basically where you just can walk through most of it. So I played on easy, and even on easy, she was fucking tough. Like, I can't imagine trying to play it on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, I can relate that to when I first played The Witcher 3. I put it on normal and got fucking owned by the first drowner that I saw. And I was like, what the fuck? And I finally kicked the difficulty down to easier story mode or whatever it is. And I was able to enjoy the game. And it was like, as I got better, I kicked the difficulty up a little bit, but fuck, man, that game's hard too. That's
like the Spider-Man games, dude. Like, Spider-Man's one of those games where I like Eric would say, Arkham games where it's just, press the attack button and just power your way through shit. You can't do that in Spider-Man. You have to learn how to parry and dodge and counter and shit. And like, some of that shit, man, I was getting my ass fucking owned. And I'm like, God damn, I got to figure out this fucking system so I can. But the cool thing you can do in Arkham games and in Spider-Man is it's one of the few games where I like stealth. Because as Spider-Man, you can be up in the rafters, and if you can isolate a bad guy, you can, like, shoot a web down and pull them up into the rafters and, like, knock them out and web them up. Yeah. So I'll just go around the room just doing that and, like, pick them off one by one. So you get in a fight with, like, 30 of these dudes. It's fucking difficult. They got rocket launchers and machine guns and all kinds of shit. So I just go through and pick off all of them I can as stealthily as possible.
Yeah, going around those fucking, the things that stick out or you swing between them. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I'm going to web you to this one. Yep. Come over here. I'm going to web you to this one.
Like you're outside, you're up on top of like street lights and you're just webbing dudes up. I don't know if you heard that. That was loud.
I did hear that. That sounded like a whale.
I want to say it was like a tiny dick mobile outside. They just like revved up. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it sounded like it was in the room for a second. Yes, I guess a tiny dick mobile or a Mustang or something. Probably a Mustang out there killing pedestrians.
Every time I hear somebody rev their engine and it's super fucking loud, I'm always like, sorry about your dick, bro.
Yep, I do that. Especially the motherfuckers who ride through parking lots and just like put it in neutral and sit there and rev their engine while they're rolling through a parking lot at like 4 miles per hour. Like, sorry about your dick, bro.
Why do you think you're cool in the Winn-Dixie parking lot?
You're in the Winn-Dixie parking lot in a 20-year-old Mustang with a mismatched colored bumper. And you're like, wham, 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 wham.
It's fucking idiots. Before we get to our songs of the week, we lost a good actor this week.
We actually missed something in the God of War thing. So talking about the game,
yeah, please.
I wanted to talk about people being dicks to devs. We kind of talked about it with Return to Monkey Island. So God of War Ragnarok, the trailer we were talking about was a release date trailer. That's all it was. I showed it to Dalton. It was like a 30-second cinematic, and it pops up with like the release date, which is like November 6th or something like that. So that was supposed to come out like a week or a week and a half prior to when it did. And the God of War dev team was like, look, we're not ready to put it out yet. We got to wait a little bit. I'm not sure why, but dude, one of the female devs or females on the team came out on the internet and said people were sending her dick pics asking her for the date, the release. It's like, dude, you are this fucking hard up for a goddamn release date for a video game that you're going to send an unsolicited dick pic to a female you've never met before in your life. Like, A, what makes you think that would work? And B, you're a piece of shit. Stop sending dick pics to people you don't know. Like, yeah. I'm all for, trading nudes, sexual freedom, whatever. I've sent pictures of my dick to people before. I've had nudes sent to me before. I've never sent a dick pic to a woman who didn't ask for it. Like, if she's like, hey, let me see your dick, I'm like, okay, sure, here you go. But yeah, no, I've never sent it. And like, honestly, I think it should fucking be illegal. Like, if you send a dick pic to somebody without them asking for it, they should be able to report you to the police.
Well, I mean, technically, would that be sexual harassment?
Technically, but the internet is still kind of the wild, wild west. Like, it's even like friendly fraud is what they call it now, where like you go buy something on your debit or credit card, and then you go home and you call your bank and you say, I didn't make this purchase. And the bank like refunds your money, and like, that's shoplifting. It's a new way to shoplift, but it's so hard to prosecute people for that. So
yeah, because how do you prove it?
Yep. I had a guy do that to me one time at the store. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen again. He came in, he bought a PS2 and a bunch of stuff, like $200 something worth of stuff. Went home, and I get a letter in the mail like 2 weeks later saying that he filed a fraudulent charge on his credit card. His stupid fucking ass said that he ordered a PS4 online and we didn't send it to him. So I sent the shit to his bank. I was like, look, I got his signed receipt right here, itemized with the shit he bought. It's like he signed in store. He was here. And I fucking looked him up on Facebook. I was like, hey, did you buy a PS2 at a local game store recently? He was like, yeah, why? And I was like, why did you file a fraudulent charge with your bank? And he blocked me, of course, but by then I took a screenshot of that and sent it to his bank too. I'm like, the dude's fucking lying to you because he's trying to get his money back for shit he bought. Of course, they sided with me and gave me the money back. Told some buddies of mine about it, and they started harassing him on Facebook and found out that he was on Facebook Marketplace trying to scam people for PS5s, because this was like right when the PS5 had first come out. He was on Facebook Marketplace saying, oh, I got PS5s for sale for $500. Send me $100 on Cash App or Venmo or whatever, and I'll hold it for you and meet you somewhere. And then, of course, when you send him $100, he just blocks you and you never see your money again. So, like, yeah, he fucking got called out for that shit too, and like changed his name on Facebook, changed his profile picture and stuff, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, like, fuck that turd.
Yeah, wow.
The funniest part of the whole thing, his name was Christian. So
fitting.
I said, knock on wood, I've only had to deal with that one time. I know people who run businesses who's had to deal with that shit a ton, because like, especially my cousin's wife, I was talking to her because they run an automotive shop, and she does like the front desk stuff at one of them. And she was like, I have to deal with that shit all the time, because people come in, they'll get a really expensive repairs done on their car. They'll pay with a credit card. They'll leave, and then they'll say, oh, I didn't do this. So she's like, but we've got signed invoices and all that shit. So she's like, we always get the money back, but it's a hassle. You have to fucking sit here and fight with them. And basically the customer says, I didn't do that. And the bank automatically sides with the customer, and you're basically guilty until you can prove yourself innocent, which is bullshit.
Yeah, that is absolute bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, I just wish people would be better people in all sense. Because like, there's no reason that you should be having to deal with that. There's no reason that developers should be getting dick pics. Like, there's no reason for any of that other than people just fucking suck.
Yeah. Like the Monkey Island thing. I forget the guy's name, But he's the guy who originally made Monkey Island. He's made every Monkey Island game. Yeah. He's making the new game. So it's going to be a good game if you like Monkey Island.
Is it Tim Schafer? No, that was Full Throttle. Never mind.
No, I think it might be Tim Schafer. Hold on, I'm going to look it up now. I feel like I owe him more respect than that. It's like I should at least know his name. Ron Gilbert.
Ron Gilbert, okay.
Yeah, so Ron Gilbert made the original Monkey Island games. So he's making this one. If you like Monkey Island, you're going to like this game. The fact of the matter is, same thing with like Rugrats. When they did Rugrats in the 90s, animation was hand-drawn. It was a very expensive and very time-consuming. Animation now is all computer done. It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Matt and Trey were still doing South Park with cutout cardboard? How fucking long it would take to do an episode.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas now they're doing it all with CG. It looks great, and they can knock shit out in 6 days.
Yeah.
Like, this new Monkey Island, this art is going to be a lot cheaper to do. It's going to be faster to do. It's going to be easier to fix mistakes and fix bugs and stuff than having to go through and do the pixel art, because pixel art is a lot more time consuming, which when you're on a big production, time equals money. So, and something that Pat and Ian talked about on the CU podcast, you wouldn't think a community like the Monkey Island fan community would be so fucking toxic. Like, you would think most of the people who love Monkey Island are old enough to understand shit changes, you know. Like, I'm going to play that game regardless because I love Monkey Island.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, to be that fucking crass and shitty to where this dude's like, look, I'm not talking about this game online anymore. It'll come out when it comes out. Like, to put him in that position, because you know he is fucking passionate about this. Like, he probably loves talking about Monkey Island. For people to be so shitty that he's just like, look, I don't even want to fucking talk about this anymore. Like, stop being such shitty fucking people.
100%, dude. 100%. So we lost Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah, that was very, very sad to hear.
And Sopranos fans, Tony Sirico passed away this week. And he was the man. I loved Paulie. He was one of my favorite characters in that show.
He was the lovable oaf if there ever was one.
Yeah, 100%. He was like, when they went to Italy, they basically referred to him as like a redneck Italian.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, he was fucking hilarious, dude. Him and Christopher. At Pine Barrens. Quit being cunty.
Yeah. Dude, he had the fucking, like, the go-to mobster hairstyle with the fucking dyed black with the little wings on the side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did the guy that played Christopher, Michael Imperioli, and then Steve Sharippa, who played Bobby, did a podcast where they watched back through the entire series. It was called Talking Sopranos.
Yeah.
And Steve Sharippa always made a joke that he had this wing-o-meter that he would measure Tony's wings every week to see if Paulie's hair, and he said every season the wings got bigger. It was just hilarious. But yeah, man, he was great. Rest in peace, my brother.
For sure.
So, what is your song of the week, my good sir?
So my song of the week is from a fairly new artist. His name is Ian McConnell. He just put an album out called Season 1. So each song, there's like 6 songs on the album, or like episode 1, blah, 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 you know. So they're episode numbers. So my song this week is called Episode 4, Important. And I really, like, dude, I listened to this album like about a dozen times in the row on the drive down here. It's such a good album. There's really good songs. Like, all the songs on it are great. I picked this one because it's basically, it's kind of saying, like, in the greater universe, none of us are significant. So basically do what you want. Like, the chorus literally starts that says, I'm not important and neither are you, so we should do whatever we want to. And it's basically just saying, like, get out there and do what you want to do, because in the greater scheme of things, you're not that important anyways. So
it's true.
It's a pretty good message. I was torn between this one and episode 5. I can't remember the name of that one, but that one's basically like, it's basically an anthem to saying, like, stop hating shit. So it's just him listing off a bunch of stuff he loves to do. And he's like, then the chorus is basically like, you know, it sucks it sucks to shit on stuff and to hate stuff. He's like, so just focus your energy on loving stuff. Like, I'm trying to start doing that. Like, I've always been a glass half empty kind of guy, and I'm trying to now turn my life around to being like, let me focus on the shit I like to do instead of focus on the shit I hate.
I'm willing to bet that you would at least appreciate Muck Sticky.
Maybe.
So there's a rapper named Muck Sticky, and I've listened to him since MySpace, right? All of his rap is about being positive and loving life and just being the person you want to be. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And he's got a weird voice. Like when he raps, it's kind of like this. Like it's a weird voice, but his lyrics, they're either funny or they're uplifting and positive, and it's good feel good music.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you check him out. I think you'd dig that guy. I'll send you his name after.
Yeah, Muck Sticky sounds like one of those sex positions you have to look up on Urban Dictionary. Oh yeah, I met this skank at the bar last night. I got a little Muck Sticky in my car.
He has a song called Ding, and the chorus is literally ding 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 dig a ding 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 dig a ding ding dig a ding ding. Smoking weed is my favorite thing. Dig a thing 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 a thing thing. Like
nice.
It's just shit like that makes you giggle, and it's good beats too. But yeah, he's great. My song of the week is by a band called Alien Weaponry, and they're from New Zealand.
Nice.
And some of their songs they sing in Maori, which is the native language of New Zealanders.
Sweet.
And the song is called Kai Tangata. It's Kaitangata. And it's the lyrics and stuff are based on a Maori war cry that they would chant going into war.
Nice.
And it's just a fucking mean riff, make you bang your head. You can't understand a word they're saying, but then the chorus kicks in and it's so melodic and beautiful. It's wonderful. Bro, in that light, you look like Steve Hofstetter. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I know who he is. I had to turn a light on. I looked at my little video window and I was like, man, it got dark as fuck in here.
Yeah, it did. While we're on the subject of music, I want to bring up this band called Rotting Christ. Now, I believe that they're like a blackened death metal kind of band, but they have this album that they did in 2019 called The Heretics. And I've listened to 4 or 5 songs off that album so far. They're considered melodic black metal.
Sounds like an oxymoron, but
yeah, right. I'm pretty sure.
How can they be melodic when they don't know how to play their instruments?
Hey now. Each song on this album is in a different language.
Nice.
Which I just think is super cool. And it finishes off, the final song on the album is called The Raven, which is adapted by from the poem by Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
And that's just such a cool concept to me. Like, I was listening to one of their songs last night while I was smoking a joint with my mom, and I was like, it would be really cool to do like an album where each song's in a different language, or like each album you do is a different language or whatever. And then I looked more into this, and I was like, oh shit, that's exactly what they did, is an album where every song's in a different language.
Nice.
The ones that I've listened to, one was in Egyptian. It was in Arabic. One was in Hindu. One was in Russian. One was in German, and one was in Greek. And it's good stuff, man. If it's what you're into, it's not as like growly as you would expect, but there is some growls in there.
Nice.
But yeah, check out Rotting Christ. It's good stuff. All right, well, let's get into our community. Okay.
Before we do that, I wanted to talk about a couple things that happened. I'm staying at the Hilton, which is a nice hotel. Great room and all. Nice big ass like 50-inch TV, which is weird for a hotel. But dude, there's a couple things that happened that were weird, or a couple complaints I have. I got in an elevator yesterday. I'm on the 6th floor. So I'm on the 1st floor, get in the elevator, hit the 6th floor button, right? Elevator doors close, elevator goes up, keeps going up all the way to the very top floor. I'm like, what the fuck? It passed right by 6, never stopped. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So doors opened on 9, closed. I pressed the 6 button again. It went all the way down to the fucking lower level. Hit the button again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it goes all the fucking way back up to the 9th floor again. I'm like, what the fuck? So I hit the button again. It goes all the way back to the lower level. I'm like, fuck this stupid elevator. Just got off of that one, let it leave and do its fucking thing. Hit the button and got on another elevator to go. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was the weirdest thing. Because I'm sitting there like going this whole way, and it's going slower than the other elevators went too. So I'm like, God damn, if this motherfucker gets stuck and I'm just like, got to sit here in this goddamn elevator, I'm going to be pissed. So other than that, the toilet in this room is not built for a giant protein intaking person such as myself. First off, it's the shortest toilet I think I've ever sat on in my life, right? So like knees are up in the air and shit. Like it just really was, it was weird because I was going to sit down. It's like where, you know, you kind of get used to where your ass hits the toilet. So I get to that level and I'm like, my ass isn't stopping. It's still going. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So like I finally hit the top. I'm like, God damn, this is so like small. You're going to take a big old fucking gross man shit, fucking flush the toilet, and it just goes like, I'm like, yeah, that ain't going to cut it, dude. You're going to have to try harder than that. Dude, it's fucking like low flush toilets would make fun of this toilet. It's so fucking weak. Like, it's a fucking two flusher for sure. Like, I had to two flush a piss earlier.
Wow.
Like, it's bad. And it's kind of weird because, like, you know, hotel rooms you don't have, like, they had 2 bottles of water laid out. Let me grab this second bottle that I'm not going to drink and show you this. So I drank the first water bottle. It looked normal. This water bottle, if you can see, is only full to that point. That looks like somebody's drank a little bit out of this, right?
It does, yeah.
Like, I can't tell if it's sealed or not, but I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm just going to leave it like that. Because like, I'm not trusting drinking out of a water bottle that somebody else possibly drank out of.
Yeah, I'd be holding that right to my ear and listening for that crack when I open it.
But yeah, like, they got the little, you know, what I call fucking scotch glasses in the room. So I've just been filling those up with water from the bathroom sink, which is also a little weird, but, you know, it's all coming from the same place.
Yeah, and it's all going to the same place.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it, you know. The only thing that sucks is like this little motherfucker, don't cut it. Like I fill this like I'll fill it up twice in the bathroom and just drink both of those and then fill it up a third time to go sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'll do that when I get my mason jar of water to bring into my room. I'll fill it up like a quarter of the way and chug that and then fill it up and walk to my room.
Yep.
You talk about double flushes and stuff. Before we get into the community question, I was sick. And this wasn't that long ago. It was in the last 6 months. Yeah. And I threw up so hard into my toilet that it flushed it. Like, you know how if you pour water into the toilet, it'll flush the toilet? Yeah. Yeah, I puked so hard, it flushed the toilet. And I was like, wow. And then threw up more. But I was just like, for a split second, I was like, wow. It was just that much force, I guess, behind it.
Dude, I hate puking. Like, I don't see how bulimic chicks do it. Like, I can't throw up for fun. Like, no, I fucking hate doing that shit.
I have stomach issues. I've gotten so used to it that it doesn't bother me all that much anymore. Like, if I feel like I'm going to throw up, I will preemptively eat like 4 Tums just to quell the acid so it comes up easier because I know it's coming. I'm just trying to make it more tolerable. All right, let's get into the community questions, my good sir.
Yes.
The first one is from Nate. What is your go-to non-alcoholic beverage?
For me, it's water. Like, I love water. I can't fucking get enough of it. With doing the creatine, I'm drinking like 100+ ounces a day. So I'm pissing like it's a hobby now. But yeah, it's probably water. Outside of water, like orange juice. I fucking love orange juice, but without pulp. I don't want to chew my drink. I want to just drink it.
Pussy.
Yeah. No, that's what I like to eat.
Orange juice. I love orange juice, but it gives me heartburn, so I don't drink it that often. Yeah, like it gives me bad heartburn. Oh yeah. It's like I like pineapple orange juice. Those mixed together, so good. But oof.
Speaking of, do you remember Five Alive?
Yeah.
The citrus drink from back in the day.
Yeah, Five Alive.
We used to drink the fuck out of that.
I also really like water. I drink a lot of water, but if I was going to pick, like, it's either Diet Pepsi or Diet Dr. Pepper. They're both really good. Probably Dr. Pepper over Diet Pepsi, though I drink Diet Pepsi more. Yeah, that would be that. Also a Shirley Temple. I love a good Shirley Temple.
Oh, yeah.
They're just so delicious.
Now, what's your go-to alcoholic beverage?
Ooh, Jack and Coke.
See, I don't...
Or Dickel and Coke.
I don't like alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. I've never found one. Everybody's like, oh, you can't taste alcohol. You fucking can if you don't drink a lot. But if I drink, it's for the express intention of getting drunk. So I go with like vodka. I just drink shots of vodka. I chase it with water, and if you're 5 or 6 of those, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Did I tell the story of the last time I got drunk on the show? I can't remember.
I believe so. Where you said that you did the shots and then you stood up and you were like, oh, fuck.
Where I did like 5 shots of vodka within like about 6 minutes or so.
Yeah, bro, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, no, that was a bad idea. That shit hit me so fucking hard I almost fell off the bar stool.
Oh, man. So, question from Willie. Both my Steam Machine cohorts. Worst French fry you ever eaten?
This is a tough one for me because French fries are really fucking good. But I will say, as much as I love Burger King is probably my go-to fast food place. They don't salt their fries anymore. And if you get them without salt, they are fucking disgusting. Because they're the thicker, like, they're not crinkle cut fries, but they're like thicker standard fries.
Yeah.
They need salt or they fucking are not good at all. So I'll go with Burger King's unsalted French fries.
I'm going to go with Wendy's because my local Wendy's, their fries are, if you get them hot and fresh, they're fantastic. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some shit that's been sitting in the warmer, and they're awful and soggy, and they're cold by the time you get home. And cold French fries are fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, cold French fries are gross.
So I gotta give it to my local Wendy's. Here's one from Jeff. Your favorite fruits and vegetables?
Fruits would be like strawberries and bananas probably. I love like blueberry muffins, blueberry Nutri-Grain bars and stuff, but I don't like actual blueberries. I think it's, for me, that's the skin on berries that I don't really like. Like grapes, I don't mind grapes, but I don't like the skin on them. But yeah, strawberries, I'll fucking eat a whole container of strawberries. I remember one time I was a kid, I ate an entire bunch of bananas by myself and actually got like a potassium overdose, and that shit will make you physically ill. Like I was so sick because I ate like 8 or 10 bananas in this stretch of like 2 hours.
Damn,
and
son.
Yeah, it was bad. I don't eat a lot of vegetables. I think, do potatoes count? I don't think a potato is technically a vegetable. Mm-mm. Other than that, like I don't really eat vegetables. I don't eat hardly anything that's green. Like,
oh man,
yeah,
that's fair. I mean, that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I love berries.
Wait, do black-eyed peas count? I don't think those are technically vegetables.
I mean, beans, I consider beans vegetables.
I do eat Bush's black-eyed peas. That's it. I don't like any other ones, but for some reason theirs I really like. To the point I will actually like dump them in a bowl, heat them up, and just eat black-eyed peas as a meal. Which, believe it or not, there's like 18 grams of protein or something like that in a can of black-eyed peas. Like it's up there. So it's a good source of protein too.
Hell yeah, dude. I love beans and rice. So good.
So what about you?
Favorite fruits? I love berries. If I had to pick a favorite fruit, though, it'd probably be apples.
Oh, yeah.
Vegetables, dude. Oh, man. I love salad. I love spinach. Green beans are fire. Corn. It's delicious. It would be easier for me to tell you my least favorite vegetables and fruits.
Oh, Now, we'll go back and say I love Granny Smith apples. Like, I fucking love Granny. So that's one green thing I will eat. Although I don't eat the peel, so technically I'm not eating green. Like, that's why I don't eat apples a lot, because I peel them. And if you peel apples are a lot of fucking work. If you got to sit there and peel them and core them and all of that shit, it's just a lot of work.
Hell yeah.
So, but I have a fake tooth in the front, so I can't just like take an apple and bite into it. So like I have to slice it and then peel it and cut the little little seed sections out that are all gross and brown. It's just so much work to eat an apple that I just don't bother most of the time. Like I can just get a banana, pull the peel off of it, and just deep throat, swallow it whole. I mean, wait, I didn't say that. I cut it into little tiny pieces. I'm sorry if anybody out there says that they have never tried to deep throat a banana to see how far they could get on it. You're fucking lying if you're saying you haven't ever tried that.
I haven't. And I'm not lying. I swear to God.
I don't believe you.
I really know. Not a banana. Not a banana.
So you've done it with like hot dogs and shit?
No,
or dildos?
I had an ex-girlfriend who used to like stick her fingers in my mouth and she would just like stick them in the back of my throat. I was like, you bitch. What the fuck? I definitely have a gag reflex.
It's for sure. Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Like I have a definite gag reflex, but yeah, I believe a lot of people out there have tried to see how far they could get on a banana. Apparently there was a dude working at the plant that, they would put bananas out in the summertime to help hydrate you. So he would take the banana and like put half of it in his mouth and bite it. And all the guys were like, dude, you can't do that. You got to chew that. Like you got to take small bites off bananas. You can't just shove that whole motherfucker in your mouth like that.
Oh my God. All right. So another one from questionnaire, Jeff. The best Christmas gift you have ever received.
So I have a couple. Last year, the year before, Jen gave me a 3D printer, and I fucking love that thing. Like, yeah, that was a really good Christmas gift. Outside of that, I would say when I was like 4 or 5, I got an NES action set for Christmas, and that was pretty fucking amazing.
Hell yeah. Dude, I've always been really interested in 3D printers.
Oh,
like, that's
great.
so fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah. I saw so much shit being sold at this show that I was like, that's really cool, but it's 3D printed, so I can literally just go home and make it myself. So.
Yeah. That's fair. Best Christmas gift I've ever gotten, man, I hate to go like cliche with it, but like the times, where I got like my PS2 back in the day or like a PS4, that was always like what I asked for Christmas was music CDs and gaming stuff.
Yep.
So... And then as I got older, I don't really get much for Christmas all that much these days, except for money, and then I buy what I want. So,
that's the one thing about being single around Christmas time is like, as an adult, you're not really getting amazing gifts anymore. Like,
nah.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, if you're in a relationship, sometimes your significant other will do for you. But I know even a lot of married couples that are like, they don't do anything for each other for Christmas. They just take the money and like save for a vacation or something like that.
My birthday is very close to Christmas. Like my birthday is like a month after Christmas. So I don't remember if it was for Christmas or if it was for my birthday, but I will say that from a gift from not my parents, my favorite thing I've ever gotten is Courtney got me a Persona 5 hoodie.
Oh, nice.
That's got Joker on it on the front and stuff.
Nice.
And it's super awesome. So I will say that's my favorite thing I've ever gotten for Christmas.
Nice.
Because it's an awesome jacket.
Nice.
The last question from Jeff. What was your first rated R movie and how old were you?
Like, Jeff, I don't fucking know. I don't have a memory. I feel like it was like, it's a hard question to ask because when we were kids, a lot of R-rated movies came on TV, but they were so fucking edited down that you didn't see it. So I remember watching like, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Chucky, all that stuff, Child's Play, I guess. But I don't remember how old I was. The first I can remember, I was like an early teen, like 12, 13 maybe. I was at this girl Christina's birthday party that... I got invited to, and for some reason there was a room with a TV on and Anaconda was like the VHS of Anaconda was playing. And I remember watching that and like, I think that's the first I can remember like legit, not unedited R-rated that I can remember. So
I think mine, for one, Anaconda is amazing.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, as cheesy as that is, that movie's great. I think mine, I was still living in Jacksonville at the time, and I was hanging out with my grandparents' neighbor. They had a kid named Gage, and we were hanging out, and we were watching Pet Sematary on VHS. I was far too young to be watching Pet Sematary, because I moved to Keystone in first grade, so it would have been before first grade that I was watching this. And I don't know if you remember, in Pet Sematary, the baby's name is Gage.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what the name of this kid I was hanging out with was. So when the movie was over and I was thoroughly freaked the fuck out, Gage went and got a knife from the kitchen and just started blankly staring at me and walking towards me. He was older than me, so he was picking on me, you know what I mean? And it freaked me right the fuck out. So like, I didn't watch horror movies for a long time because of that. But my first R-rated movie that I rented that my parents let me watch that I can remember was RoboCop.
Oh, nice.
Which, yeah, RoboCop's the shit.
Dude, I do remember, I don't think it was my first, but I was like 13 when the South Park movie came out on VHS. And my mom was a bit of an enabler when I was younger, so I convinced her to let me rent it from Blockbuster, and she was like, okay, I'll let you rent it, but you can't let your dad know you watched it. So I like had one of those little like 13-inch TV VCR combos, like drug it in the closet and put the tape in, turned the volume down to like 3 or 4 so I just could barely hear it. And that was probably one of my mom's worst parenting moves because I was not ready for the shit that I saw on that fucking tape. Like, it fucking scarred my little brain. Like, yeah, it was bad. Because like, I'd watched the show, but the show was fairly tame back in its original few seasons. Like, it was bad, but compared to what they do today is fucking nothing. Yeah. And like, so when that movie came out and it was completely unedited, I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't know what some of those words meant. I was like, what's that mean? And like, you don't want to ask your friends because like, you're like, oh, they're going to make fun of me because I don't know what it means. When in reality, they probably didn't fucking know what it meant either.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that movie, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. Bigger, longer, uncut's great.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, the next two questions that we have are from a new, maybe not a new listener, but a new asker, yeah. James Hall. Coffee or tea?
Neither. I don't drink coffee at all. I don't really even like how it smells. Like, and I used to drink sweet tea because I grew up in the South. So I drank sweet tea a lot as a kid, like way more than I should have. And until I got my first kidney stone. When I got that kidney stone, I was like, yep, that's it for that. So yeah, I haven't drank tea and I couldn't tell you how long.
I'm weird. So for some reason, like, I like sweet tea and stuff. Like, it tastes really good. But if I drink it on an empty stomach, I am inevitably going to throw up. I don't know why. I really don't. But if I drink tea on an empty stomach, I am going to throw up at some point. Coffee, I really enjoy coffee. I much prefer it cold. Like an iced coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take an iced coffee or a mocha. I'm very much a white girl when it comes to coffee. Nice. Although I will drink a good cup of good black coffee too. It just depends. If it's not great coffee, then dress it up.
Yep.
And then his
Now, I will say one last thing on that. I don't like hot beverages. Like, I will drink room temperature, but I do not like coffee, tea, hot chocolate, hot cider. Like, I don't like any warmed up beverage. Like, it feels unnatural to me. I just don't like it. Like, I don't like super ice cold either, other than with the exception of, I don't drink it anymore, of course, I'm trying to get in better shape. I love Pepsi. Like, full flavor Pepsi. And like, dude, when you're like hot as fuck and you crack open a can of Pepsi and you just fucking, that shit hits your lips and you're just like, look.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude.
Oh, it's so fucking good. But yeah, like, I try to avoid it now because soda is the absolute worst thing for you if you're trying to lose weight at all. Even diet soda, because the carbonation swells your stomach up, but then it subsides, so your stomach is bigger momentarily, makes you feel hungry, and then you're like, oh man, now I need something to eat. And it's hard enough for me because I'm like the type that I'll eat a couple slices of pizza for dinner, say, and then I'm like, need to wash that down with something sweet. So now I need to go get like, a snack cake or something, and like I've kind of knocked that back, but it's still there, like, oh, I really just want to fucking go get something.
I feel you, man. I got a box of sweet rolls in my freezer, or Swiss rolls in my freezer.
Oh, dude, a fucking ice cold Swiss roll. Yeah, like, oh,
it's good shit.
Fucking great. I told you, dude. It's like, it changes the whole flavor, the texture, everything to it. It's just, they're like, you're out doing yard work or some shit. You come inside, get you a cold drink and a fucking ice cold Swiss roll. Fucking heaven.
Yes, sir.
Maybe one day I'll be in a shape to where I can indulge in that every now and then. But that day is not today because I'm still a fucking disgusting fat body. So,
so James's last question is, what is your favorite anime if you are into that medium?
I feel like everybody has an anime they like. I will say, like, some people don't like. You know, we both live in redneck country, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, I don't watch that Japanese bullshit.
Yeah, cartoons.
But I actually was going to bring up a new friend of mine. Her name is Ostara. She is a customer at the store. We've been, just talking, kind of hanging out a little bit the last few weeks. She's a huge anime fan. She brought in a bunch of like Pokemon games and like anime PS4 games to trade in at the store. We got to talking about Pokemon and stuff. She told me about an anime. It's on Hulu and Crunchyroll called Overlord. If you haven't seen it, I think you especially would like it. I've got like 1 or 2 episodes left of the first season. Only the first season's on Hulu. There's 3 seasons, but you have to watch them on like Crunchyroll or Funimation. So
I have a Funimation account.
Basically, the story it's like 2156 or something like that. There's this massive MMORPG that everybody in the world was playing, and basically everyone stopped playing it. So at midnight this day, they're shutting the servers down. So this one guy, I think his name was like Momont or something like that. He's like in the game, like, he was the leader of like the biggest guild in the game. There were like 41 members of this guild. They were the most powerful, most prestigious, all that shit, right? So they've got like this huge hall. Apparently the whole thing of the game is you created everything. Like you created NPCs. They gave you that vast, customization abilities. It's like they created all these NPCs and shit in the game. So like it opens up with like him and one other guy are there, and he's like, he's like, I appreciate you coming through. And the other guy was like, yeah, it's being the last day. I wanted to come look around one more time. I've been so busy with work, blah, blah, blah. So he ends up logging off, and the main guy's like, well, I guess I'll just hang out here till they shut it down at midnight. So then you see a clock, like he's going around doing some stuff. Then they show like a black screen with a clock, and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then it starts counting back up. 1, 2, 3. And he actually he gets stuck in the game. So basically he becomes his character in the game and is stuck there. But like, since he's been playing it for so long, he's like level 100 or whatever. Like he's super powerful. So like he's basically in the game trying to figure out what happened, and he's like fighting, NPCs and all kinds of, like, it's really fucking cool. So like all the video game people out there, I think would really like it. It's high fantasy stuff. Like his character is super fucking cool because he's an undead. So I guess that's part of the guild was you couldn't be a human character. You had to be a non-human character. So he's this like giant skeleton motherfucker with like this big like king cloak with like huge horns on it and shit. And dude, it's just like, it's all magic. It's, like the people who use weapons, they call them martial arts. And like, so you have all these abilities and stuff you can do. And so like, he's so powerful that he's going around to these villages, and like people, like these high level people are attacking him and they're doing no damage. And then he's just like one hit killing dragons and all kinds of shit. And everybody's like, oh my God, how did he do that? He must be so powerful. So like, he's this kind of like mythic legend of, this super powerful guy that's going around trying to like figure out what's going on. And dude, it's really fucking good. So yeah, you got a Funimation account, you should look it up. It's called Overlord.
Overlord is in my watch list actually.
So yeah, watch it.
I haven't gotten to it, but
it's good.
I saw the picture of the main character or whatever the cover is, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's add to watch this.
The art's fucking dope. Dude, I love anime intro and like outro music, because if you look at the English translation of the lyrics, it usually has absolutely nothing to fucking do with the show. It's just some random fucking like popular Japanese song. It's just so fucking funny sometimes. So that one's really good. So shout out to Ostara for telling me about that. I'm glad I sat down and watched it. I'll have to try to figure out, me and Dalton might have to, trade passwords on a couple streaming services. And so I can watch the second and third seasons. Other than that, like, I loved Death Note's probably my favorite anime if I had to pick one. Death Note is just absolutely it's great. And it's the one anime I could say, like, I wish I could live that anime, because how great would it be to have a notebook where you could just write people's names in it and they die? Like, this world would be a lot better place if I had that notebook. So Death Note's great. Assassination Classroom's amazing. Initial D was really cool because I'm a car guy, so I love that one. Attack on Titan was great, although I loved when Attack on Titan started, but Attack on Titan, and I'll probably get hate for this, the longer it went, it kind of lost me a little bit, because like this last season, it was just like, like it's so far removed from what it started as that I'm just like, like I haven't even watched the second half of the final season because I'll watch it eventually, but I just didn't care when it came out.
Yeah. I've been there before with shows.
So yeah, that's a handful of mine. What about you?
I really enjoyed Shokugeki no Soma Food Wars.
Yeah.
The show's hilarious, dude. People eat good food and their clothes explode off because it's so good. It's nice. Fantastic.
Imagine if that happened in real life. If you were just like, fucking, you're on the streets of New York at a fucking like pizza vendor cart. You just get this big floppy ass slice of pizza. You bite it. And you're like, oh, it's so fucking good. Oh god, my dick is out.
Yeah, boom. Well, they go to their underwear, but yeah, all of a sudden, just poof, you're in your undies. It's like, oh man. Oh, well, I think it would be happening to more people. I don't know. It would be interesting. But it's a funny ass show. And then I also really liked Demon King Daimao. Back in the day, I liked Trinity Blood. That show was great. It was vampires versus the Catholic Church.
Nice.
It's a great show. I liked the anime version of Devil May Cry. That was really cool.
I didn't know. Apparently, I heard this on the CU podcast as well, so shout out to Pat and Ian. There's a Ninja Gaiden anime that you can watch on YouTube. So I might have to look. It says like 45 minutes long. I might have to look into that one day and watch that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. What else did I like Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
That's a fun show. Other than that, though, I've been watching a show called Bofuri. I don't want to take damage, so I'll max out my defense or something like, animes have ridiculous names.
Yeah. Was it you that shared that meme the other day where it was like animes nowadays are called like, I really want to go explore this dungeon, so I'm going to find a guy named Brandon to go with me. And anime in the 90s was called Blood Joe.
Oh, no, that was Kana. But yeah, freaking hilarious because it's absolutely true. But yeah, there's an anime that I want to watch that's like, what do you think of my mom's multi-attack combo hit or something like that?
Nice.
And I'm like, what could that possibly be about? That's one thing on Funimation I went through and added to my watch list, just all these shows that just have ridiculous names.
Like there's a new one I kind of want to check out. I've seen it on, I think, Hulu, but it's like a firefighter anime. I'm like, like, I don't know the name of it. I can't remember the name, but I'm like, I wonder if this is just like fucking, what was that show?
Rescue Me?
Yeah. Is this just like anime Rescue Me? Like, are they just going fighting fires, or is it going to be like you find out that the fires were started by some magical creature and like these firefighters have magical powers too and they have to go find this creature and fight it, or like anime is always super fucking weird. Speaking of, I had never watched Full Metal Alchemist, but I always saw the meme of like the girl and the dog and I was like, what is this about? So I watched that show and like, it was okay. I watched it up to like a little past that particular part, and I was like, man, like if you're into this show, I kind of get why you were like, oh, fuck this dude. Like, yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Devil is a Part-Timer is another one of my favorite animes I always bring up because a lot of people have never seen it, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Like literally, so the whole story of it is you have like Lucifer, Satan, the devil, like they're all different people. So basically like the devil comes up here, or it might be Satan's the devil. I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a while. I want to watch it again. He comes up to the earth and he's like, my whole goal is to take over the earth. So his decision to take over the earth is to climb the corporate ladder and eventually become like a CEO and use that as a position to take over the world. So he gets a part-time job as a fry cook at basically their version of McDonald's in the show. And so there's another like it's like other planets or other realms that they come from. There's this other realm of heroes who are like watching Lucifer and Satan and all of them to make sure they're not doing anything crazy. So when he comes to Earth, Amelia the hero comes to like keep an eye on him. But then, it's basically like there's some battling in it, but it's mostly just like him trying to live as a 20-something in Japan. And it's just the weirdest fucking shit. It's like it's an anime, so of course he has like a teenage coworker with gigantic tits who falls madly in love with him when he starts working there, and like just simping out for him all the time. So Amelia's like watching his every move. Dude, it's just it's such a fucking good show. Like if you haven't watched it, definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out, man. Oh, well, brother, it's getting kind of late, and I have some company coming over later on, so I'm going to go. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Dalton's got to take his ritual shit after the show.
Always, dude. I'm telling you, it's like my body knows I'm recording, and it's like, all right, you're done. All right, let's go.
Yeah, you're sitting in the chair, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the pooping chair. Oh, yeah. Start working me up a poop. Oh yeah, and I will give a shout out to Christina because, like I said, I've been hanging out with her this weekend. She listened to our episode last week and said it was some of the funniest shit she'd ever heard. She's laughing her ass off about all the shit and fart and poop jokes. So yeah, the people want it. We got to give it to them.
Good Lord. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Christina. If you'd like to ask us a question anonymously, you can send us an email at yetanotherbspod@gmail.com. You can also send in your vocal intros for the show.
Send some of those because we're having fun with those.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff who did the one at the beginning of this episode. And if you'd like to, it's just one more time, yetanotherbspod@gmail.com. If you want to find us on Facebook, we're not super active on there, but we do try to be. It's facebook.com/groups/yetanotherbspodcast.
Yeah, I post the weekly questionnaire on Facebook, but me and Dalton see when anybody posts in the group, so we try to go in and engage with anything that gets posted. And feel free to post the whatever fucked up shit you want in there. We ain't reporting nothing in that group. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. If you want to find us on Twitter, you can find the show at YabsPod, which is YABSPOD. All capital letters. You can find Jeremy at Just Call Me Jezza, and you can find me at Super Nerd Dalton. And if you want to check out all of our episodes with the show notes and our songs of the week and all that kind of stuff, yabspod.wordpress.com is where we host all that. So you can go and check that out. And then, of course, if you would like to hear more of me, you can catch me bi-weekly on the Steam Machine podcast, where me, Nate, and Willie play through my backlog of PC games and have a general good time with it. And then if you want some JRPG news, you can catch me every week on the JRPG Report. Yeah. Got anything you want to plug, my good sir?
Yeah, go listen to the Steam Machine podcast because it's great. Go buy Dalton's music at nowthenightmare.bandcamp.com so that he can buy food and weed and toilet paper and all the other things he needs in life.
Yeah, please. Any little bit helps.
If you want, I'll give you my Venmo and you could just send me money because I'm fucking broke. Like, I'll take money.
Also, if you want to come hang out with us on the Steam Machine Podcast Discord, where we also have a section for YabsPod, it is bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all capital letters.
Yeah, definitely come check that out because we have fucking fun over there.
Yeah, it's a good community. I'm really happy with the way it's shaped up.
I will also say I'm considering designing some YabsPod merch. So if you would like some YabsPod merch, definitely let me know. I will get some shit designed up. I think Dalton has a Threadless store already, is it?
Yep.
And we could get it put up on there. I could just do a custom order through like Custom Ink or somebody and do like whoever wants it. I'll order the specific sizes, colors, whatever everybody wants and get it shipped out to them. I want to try to make it as affordable as possible. So we'll look through like whatever avenue is the most affordable. Any money we make off of it will go to making this show more ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm thinking about like trucker hats, t-shirts. Like, dude, I think it would be great to have booty shorts with like Yabs Pod across them.
You should be able to do all of that on Threadless. They have
sweet
a lot of different options for sure.
Did you watch Squidbillies, right?
Yeah.
So early Kyler wore a hat in that show that I've always wanted to make. It said, I don't Netflix and chill, I VHS and fuck. I want to make that hat. I'm thinking about, so if you would want this, let me know. I can make it happen. Thinking about making one that says, I don't Netflix and chill, I Yabs Pod and fuck.
I'd wear it.
I would wear the fuck out of that hat. So if you want one of those, let me know. I can make that happen.
For sure. Or a shirt with that on there would be sweet
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about doing shirts with like me and Dalton's face photoshopped on some nonsense like I always do. Like, I have ideas, people, but let me know if you want to spend that moolah. I will make that shit happen.
Yeah, man. Just let us know.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note, I guess that about does it for this week, my brother. So for Jeremy, I'm Dalton. And as always, guys, take it easy.